Hello and welcome to We Got a podcast about Dragon Ball from A to Z, from Earth to Namek to Sadala. We cover it all. My name is Randy.
And I'm Duckson.
We're the world's strongest under the heavens duo here every other week to talk your ear off about fights, goofs, and everything else in the Dragon Ball cosmos. Doug, you got therapy yet?
Dude, I'm getting there. My mom's gonna push me into therapy any day now.
Now, why would she do that?
I made a TikTok that had an audio track of someone saying, I need a vacation, and then cuts to him like at the beach, like, no, I guess I needed therapy, but whatever, it's still nice out here. I made that into a TikTok saying, maybe I need more Dragon Ball stuff, and it's like, no, I needed therapy, but it's nice out. It's a nice collection. My mom saw the video and instantly called me, and it's like, honey, are you okay? Are you need therapy? Are you okay? It's like, please tell me you're alright. As mom, it's a joke. At all day, it's been like that. Like, she just can't drop it, and it's just like, how do I explain TikToks to my mom?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's rough. Parents, they care a lot, but also, you can't joke with them because they don't get it. They don't get any humor of anybody younger.
It's a hard balance. Like, there's no explaining my way out of it. It's just like, all right, mom, I'm going to go to therapy. I'm just going to go to therapy just to get my mom. For the record, everyone should go to therapy.
Yes, of course.
I probably should as well, but everyone should.
Yeah, I got a lot of anxieties, and that should be helped by a medical professional who knows what they're doing.
Right. Not by buying more Dragon Ball figures like I'm doing right now.
But is it really such a bad way to cope? I mean, you could be doing drugs.
Not. It's instant gratification. It's a weird thing. It's instant gratification for me. As soon as I hit the purchase button online, I still have to wait 8 months for the pre-order to come out. But it's like, as soon as my money is out of the account that day, boom, like, yeah, I did that. It's mine.
You're getting bang for the buck because you're getting gratification when you click the buy button. And then 8 months later, when you get it, you're like, yes, this is all that my life has been leading to.
I did this. Like, I'm the reason this is in my hand. Past me from 8 months ago is the reason I have this now. Yeah, it's great.
Exactly. And then you're happy with your life choices because if you didn't do this before, you wouldn't have it now.
If you say so. How you doing,
I do say so.
You done with therapy or what?
I need to get some, but
nice.
I'll figure that out on my own.
Right.
But otherwise, I've been medicating by being obsessed with Neon White. Everybody's talking about this game, so I had to jump in and try it. It's real good, man.
I never heard of it. What is that?
So it is a game published by Annapurna, who puts out a bunch of weird, strange games. But this one is a first-person shooter parkour platformer. / visual novel.
Visual novel? Oh my god.
Yeah.
/ dating sim.
Well, you do give gifts to people, boys and girls.
Nice.
But you don't. I guess you kind of go on dates with them, but I mean, it's not leading. There isn't a romance thing that you're leading to, but you're just hanging with your bros or the girls that you like, and you're just getting to know each other / recover your memories from when you were alive because you are a dead person who is in heaven.
Wow.
But you're not allowed here, really, because you're filthy sinners. So all of these people, they are called neons. They're tasked with killing demons that have infiltrated heaven. And the winner, whoever is the best at this, gets to stay in heaven for real for a year.
It's also like a competition game. Oh, my God. So it's like Mirror's Edge combined with Doki Doki Literature Club combined with Persona 5.
Yeah, exactly. You got it exactly right.
Perfect.
And just like the running around and the shooting feels so good. You just replay each stage over and over again to get better times because like each level is only like 30 seconds or like maybe a minute.
Oh, really?
That it rewards you because like you need like medals so that way you can progress, but also after the first run there are gifts now that you can pick up to go give to your friends, and like you've got 2 leaderboards, your friends and like global, and it's always like, oh man, I saw my buddy Nick, he was a little bit better than me, so I gotta try again. If I could just shave off like 0.2 seconds.
Maybe you do need therapy, Randy. Instead of playing this game.
No, what I need is more ace medals in Neon White and also more gifts to give to my buds.
Of course. But what's more therapeutic to us than Dragon Ball?
Exactly. That's a segue of the millennium. And last millennium. Because of time travel.
According to time travel, yeah. Just blow me up, Daddy. I'm going back in time.
Daddy Randy always blows up his children. So, we watched episode of Bardock. which
episode?
Is wild. The one that's called Episode of Bardock.
I gotcha. Yeah, what a weird title for a Bardock episode of Bardock. I guess like maybe it's supposed to be like cryptic or like this is Bardock. They should have called it chapter or whatever, like chapter of Bardock, not episode, and then make it an actual TV whatever.
Side story, Bardock.
Oh, was it called Episode of Bardock in the manga when it released the manga form?
Yes.
Maybe that makes more sense. It just didn't translate. They should have called it chapter Bardock in the anime version. Whatever.
Bardock
I don't work for Toei, so I don't know.
Right. You do work for me. Do
Hell
you?
yeah.
I don't know. We're friends and I don't pay you.
I work with you.
There we go. You should take the job of telling people what happens in this thing. What's it about?
I shall do just that, Randy.
Please do.
As Frieza destroys planet Vegeta, Bardock is engulfed and killed, quote-unquote, in the attack and explosion. Or is he? Bardock awakes in what appears to be the past on planet Plant and comes up against a new foe named Chilled, who seems to be related to Frieza in some way. Will Bardock be able to save the planet and his new friends? And will he truly finally become a Super Saiyan? Whoa. Oh my god, he's got to save his friends.
That sounds like Bardock to me.
It's totally Bardock.
So this was an animated special that was posted online December 17th, 2011. An adaptation of a manga, like you said, by Naho Oishi. This special was directed by Yoshihiro Ueda. I forgot to look up what else he's done, but I know that he's a person who's done Dragon Ball stuff before. Produced by Kazuhiko Torishima, who is actually Toriyama's first editor back during the Dr. Slump days and going forward from there with some Dragon Ball. Music by Hiroshi Takaki, who did Plan to Eradicate the Super Saiyans, and that's
around the same time like that special came out too. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. So
I always wonder what like the producer does, like because Torishima was, like you said, is Toriyama's first editor. But what kind of influence does he have in this?
Ooh, you're asking me questions that I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I should hit up Toriyama himself. What did he do? What does he even do?
What does he even do? Hit up the Dragon Ball room, the people that decide all this stuff, and they're like, what does Torishima even do right
I mean, because it is cool to be like, oh, this Torishima, his first editor, is back to help produce it, but I wish we knew more about like what that actually entails, you know?
Right. I'm not sure if he played a part in guiding Oishi through the story to do the manga first.
Right. I mean, because it is like, it's just one, not to say just one chapter, but it is like just a small chapter. But even then, editors do have a lot of input and say and guidance in that aspect. So I don't know.
Right. We should also bring up that Naho Oichi has done other Dragon Ball stuff, like she was doing Dragon Ball SD, the manga that's published in Japan, which we don't think we've ever had, and I think might still be ongoing. I can't recall.
I think I've seen like little chibi forms of them running around. Like it's a fun little spin idea. Like, it's more like kind of like a what if. Like it does kind of follow the main story, but like little goofy interactions. I think it's cute.
Yeah, it's got another joke or two.
It was cool to have like a woman like produce something Dragon Ball related, like that manga chapter. It was pretty cool, like for what she made.
Yeah,
I like it.
I believe she had talked about being a pretty big fan of Bardock, so it was exciting for her to work on this. Sense. But this is me going off of memories from like a Kanzenshi podcast from freaking 11 years ago.
Who isn't a fan of Bardock? You know, really, it's
Bardock-san.
It's just the sexy Goku.
It's true, and he's naked a lot in this. Well, kind of. He's from the belly button up.
Right.
So
they like to shoot him waist up so that it gives the impression of being naked. But yeah, this special, Randy, what do you think of it?
So it had been a while since I sat and watched this. Probably the last time I watched the majority of it was when Abridged did their take on this.
Right. For the record, we both had to plug in our Kinects to watch this, and we had to do the Kamehameha game to watch it, to unlock it.
That's true. The only way that we ever got it here in North America was via the Kinect game, Dragon Ball Z for Kinect, I believe.
That's what it was called. Yeah, just Dragon Ball Z for Kinect. Man,
which was
you even
Ultimate
did have
Tenkaichi.
To... Yes,
on the Xbox.
But just like one minigame, basically, of you just like waving your hands to the screen and it kind of registering you firing blasts.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember
you needed it even just to watch this thing. You like needed to have.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, plugged in and you had to like access the menu, access the movie with the Kinect to actually watch it. I remember I had friends over, didn't have the Kinect set up, and they wanted to see it. I'm like, oh my god, I really got to go through this whole Kinect situation. I liked Kinect for what it was, but after a while, the gimmick died. Like it wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. I never had one myself, but
especially with how bad the game was, because I mean, like the Kinect could be very receptive, but not for this DBZ game. which is a shame.
I think I had heard some people say, like, wow, it actually makes Ultimate Tenkaichi fun. Which I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting.
It has been a long time since I played it. Maybe I'm completely misremembering and just, it was a fun game, but I don't remember playing it a lot.
I don't think it made it Game of the Year. I just think it improved
something
that was already not good. Which is funny. I feel so bad. Like, back when Ultimate Tenkaichi came out, I was hard in the paint for that game. Like, no, man, it's so good. I think I even submitted a voice thing to what was then Daizenshu EX for, like, talking about that game. Because I wanted to be on the podcast. So my thing was, if I record myself and send voice things, they tend to play those on the show. So that's my way to get in.
Fuck it, I'm making my own podcast now.
Fuck it. I'm making my own podcast. I'm making my own podcast, and I play Mario Kart with the guy who does Kanzenshu, and he beats me every time. But that's okay.
Every time, yeah. For some reason, I thought like maybe you auditioned for like a voice in the game. Like, you know, there's a lot of character creation in that time for those Ultimate Tenkaichi games, and like I think even like some of the Team 4-Star guys got in their voices in the games. Like, oh, maybe Randy like threw in a voice in there as an extra in the background. I don't know. But
wow, that would be.
I don't know how many connections you had back then, but what year was this again? 2011. Yeah. Oh my God, more than 10 years ago. This game is special.
We're getting old and we're dying slowly, bit by bit.
Hey, it's time for another Dragon Ball Z Connect game. Give me another VR Dragon Ball game. Hey, technology is advanced. Yeah. Not that easy. Just give me 2 controllers, Pro, Quest, whatever controllers, or Move controllers for PlayStation. Just have me move my hands to the side and fire a blast. That's all I need.
I just want to go play Tenkaichi 3 on the Wii again. That was my jam.
I stopped playing the Tenkaichi. I stopped playing any Dragon Ball games after Tenkaichi 2 came out. I was like, I don't like this Tenkaichi style. I was much bigger of a fan of the Budokai games, and yeah.
You can call them Budokai. That's okay.
Booty call.
The booty call games. But yeah, so they made it really hard to watch this dang freaking thing. But it had
everyone
been
at that point
time.
Just pirated it.
Right, exactly. It's easier that way. They became Luffy, and the One Piece was the friends we made along the way. So
the friends Bardock made along the way.
Yes. So you'd brought it up in the synopsis. It starts off right where the Bardock special was ending, where Bardock takes on Frieza solo, and then Frieza blows up Namek, but then he wakes up in a mysterious new place with other people and it's like, oh, this is Planet Plant, which was what Planet Vegeta used to be.
I was like, he actually makes a connection with pretty quickly, like, oh, that's what this planet, the Vegeta planet used to be called.
Mm-hmm. They've got magic healing gel, which he's like, oh, that's just like our healing pots.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing about this special, though, is that a lot of things are too spot on.
Well, they only have so much time, you know? It's not a very long special.
They have to nail every single, like, consistent note of the show. Like, oh, it's just a reflection of what happens in the future to Goku and Frieza. Like, that part kind of, like, it was boring to me. But I wanted to say about the animation, because when we first started out with the scene, the redrawn scene, basically, of Frieza versus Bardock in space, during the time, I think we're just clamoring for anything new Dragon Ball animated stuff. So that looked good to me back then. It still looks fine now, but I don't really prefer that style of animation. But at the time, like I said, it looked like amazing, and it's like, oh my God, it's brand new Dragon Ball material. This is awesome.
So this, 2011, this is 2 years pre Battle of Gods. This is 2 years post Kai starting. So like we had new openings and like, redrawn scenes. I mean, they weren't like redone; they're mostly just traced. But we wanted some new stuff. Oh, we were also 3 years. This is 3 years after Son Goku and his friends return.
Yeah, so we have that. So we have like little bits here and there. We're clamoring for them. We're eating it up. Like, yes, yum nom nom nom. And then we get Battle of Gods, and then we get the Frieza Resurrection F, and then we get Super. I'm like, all right, enough. Now I'm like, and then enough. The enough moment for me was Dragon Ball Heroes. That's when I'm like, all right. We got enough. The AMV in me, the AMV editor in me has enough material. I don't need anything more. Calm down.
Post Yamamura working on the series regular for character design and things like that. I've always been like, you know what? I never really liked that. But watching this, like, this is all right. Like, I liked it. Animation wise, I felt like they did a pretty good job. There was a lot of things where I felt they could have really phoned it in and not bothered to give extra motion to things, but they went ahead and they did it. I
guess I should like amend what I mean, like, by animation. The art style. The art style I'm not too keen on anymore, but the animation motion part of it, I guess, the actual animation, what it means, was fantastic.
Right. And I mean, like you said, the story's pretty simple. It's not a lot like they build on that other than, Chilled, who is basically Frieza's ancestor.
Frieza's ancestor, yeah, who acts just like him and sounds just like him.
He sounds a little different. Like he sounds smaller. Yeah, he does.
I guess.
I think so.
I think that's one thing I wish. Which I mean, I see why they made the decision to stick with Ryo. Or what's the Frieza's voice actor? Not Ryo.
Ryosei Nakao.
Ryosei Nakao. Okay, I almost said Horikawa. I'm like, no, that's Vegeta. But I was hoping
I might have said it wrong. It might be Ryusei. Yeah, Ryusei Nakao.
But I kind of wish they had a new voice actor for them because we already have Masako Nozawa playing Bardock. It just adds on more to the similarities between Frieza and Goku. But I guess that's the point.
That's the point, man. That's
it
why
is
we
Dragon Ball. It's
it.
not a very complex show series, so it's like, we're gonna hit these same beats. But the one thing I did wish was that Bardock spoke a different language, or at least the Plantians spoke a different language, because they still could have played the same story, and still Bardock could have spoken English or Japanese, and then Plant could have spoken some other Plantian language, but that language barrier could have existed and still had the same relationship. I think I would have liked that a lot more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would have been a fun little twist where, I mean, obviously he'd still not really care about them a lot.
And care even a little less because he doesn't understand them. But then then that's where you grow the relatability where like, oh, well, obviously your village is being destroyed and I understand that. We don't need to speak for me to understand that and that. And you guys are obviously a helpless village. I think language really, because it's such a far outlandish thing where, first of all, he's time traveled, and second of all, it's a different race. Like, I guess it doesn't bother me too much in the Dragon Ball proper, but I want more complexity, I guess, and I'm asking for too much out of Dragon Ball, but that's just me wishing for more out of this. So simple, and this actually feels like an abridged version of something. It's way too condensed.
So we're dealing with a Bardock who tried to take down Frieza, failed, and now he's traveled back in time, and he's like, oh, I don't like these people, but I gotta recover. Like, what? I wish Bardock would have shared with us, okay, well, what am I gonna do with my life now? Like, I'm no longer employed, my family's gone, and, like, I'm in a strange new time. Like, what am I gonna do? Maybe we could have gone with the more barbaric side of things. Like, all right, I'm going to take down this planet and I'm going to be king of this place now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense that he's kind of like still doesn't know what to, he's in that doesn't know what to do phase of his life because his world literally came crumbling down where, like you said, planet's blown up. Everyone he knows is dead. Everyone Saiyan knows he's dead. And I don't know. I think he's just kind of like in mourning, but not in like the sad way because he's Bardock. Of course, he can't show it.
Right.
He just finds a cave and just lives his days out in there.
That's how he does it.
Yeah.
But, like, something like... Because he's clearly doing that for at least a few days. It'd be nice to be like, okay, what am I going to do after I finish doing this, 8,000th push-up?
Because we didn't even get, like, inner monologue, like, what am I going to do now? What does this mean? Like, what should I do now? I think even inner monologue would have helped a little more with this dry Bardock character, basically.
Right, yeah.
Because at this point, Barry, the little plant creature, turns him into... the Tapion role, where he's just like, I don't care, kid, and then but the kid gives him food to like
gets him soft,
Yeah,
gives him food, and he's like, hey, come on, I'll be your friend. Like, all right, I'll help you.
But do we really believe that Bardock, because Bardock's painted to be like this, going from bad guy to good guy, in the broad mind when. If you just watch the Bardock special, the original one, like just once or whatever, not too much, you would remember it as, it's just the good guy turned to bad guy turned to good guy story. But that's not really what that is. Bardock is still a bad guy by the end. He's just kind of like it's just trying to like,
he wants to keep his friends and everything around, but
he feels betrayed. I don't even feel like he has I guess he has a kinship for his Saiyan race, but it's more like, Frieza, you lied to me after all I've done for you, and you're doing this to my planet, my race, my pride is being crumpled in. He's still a bad guy, but he sees. But he ends up doing good things, I guess.
Right. He doesn't fight for the greater good. He's not like, now I'm on the side of justice.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, traveling from that to this special, this Bardock feels a way more... Well, maybe he softened up because of that. That's more complex, I guess.
Mm-hmm. But the point is,
know.
we don't get any of that. We don't get anything of like what he's feeling, his mental process of like handling this grief or whatever it is. Like, I understand it's Dragon Ball. They're just here to fight some things, and like that's that. But like, we can ask for more. I don't think that's too much to ask.
Yeah. I mean, this is just what we would wish would happen. We know in the real world, this is what we'd get, and it is what we got. So
exactly.
Yeah. But we just wish there was more.
Yeah. So then it's pretty short, and then eventually Chilled shows up because he's like, there's some people wrecking up my shit on this one planet, and I'm a space pirate, so let's go down there, wreck the place, and find this person who's doing this. So then Bardock shows up and like, I'm going to stop you. Takes out the
I didn't do it for you guys, though.
No, yeah, forget you. I just
Bardock
did it for me.
Soon did it mode is just like, I didn't defeat him for you guys.
Then nobody asks, who did you do it for? And he doesn't answer. He's just, whatever, man. Chilled shows up and he's like, oh man, Frieza's here. And this is wild. And then, no, it's actually somebody else. And, it's just a kind of fight thing. And then Barry shows up to like try and help, and
he's just worried, and then Chilled gives him the. It is a Frieza move that he does. Like he like whips his hand, and like a huge wave of energy comes from the ground, like an earthquake kind of thing.
And then that starts the
Bardock
big
takes
stuff.
That. Yeah.
He starts feeling overwhelmed and full of rage, and you had noticed. There are so many shots here during this transformation into Bardock becoming the first Super Saiyan that are just, this is everybody's transformation from before. Goku's, Vegeta's, Trunks's, because he's like grips his fist so tight his palm starts to bleed. Like that's Trunks.
It's a shot of the hand, and he grips it so tight that it starts bleeding. That's Trunks from the history of Trunks.
He falls to the ground, starts punching it over and over again. Like, that's Vegeta.
That's Vegeta. He's on a distant planet, just punching the ground. Like, why can't I become a Super Saiyan?
We've got, like, a shot of, like, him from the side and from the back as, like, there's lightning coming down. Like, that's Goku's transformation.
That's Goku's, yeah. I didn't even realize until this watching that was it. Like, I want to now go and like do the comparison shots and see, because I feel like some of them I'm stretching for. Like now all this stuff is Gohan, and you were listening to me watch it. I'm like stretching. Like that looks like Gohan's when he was doing this. Nah, Doug, you're reaching for that one. It's like, come on, where's the Gohan shot?
Right. I think maybe the closest we get is when he finally transforms and then it like zooms out and shows like the crater underneath him, because then there's that shot of like Gohan and Cell. Like, maybe
you're right.
That's for Super Saiyan 2.
That's totally. Oh yeah, it is, because Super Saiyan 1, he's just in the time chamber, and he's just being blasted, and then gets into it, and then pushes the blast back to Goku. But
right,
I don't know. Well, that was in the anime. We don't even see Gohan in the manga transform.
No, I mean we didn't even see Vegeta's in the manga. I don't believe.
You're right. In that case,
does it against 19.
That's mute. Yeah.
So it's all anime stuff. But yeah, I was
cool.
like, oh, that's neat. I
that's
never
pretty
noticed
cool.
that before.
Yeah, at first I was reaching, but then another instance came, and then another instance came. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. It was like an homage. Because it wasn't too spot on. It was just enough, like, differently enough. Maybe and I was going to say her style, but this is just anime only, probably. We should have read the manga, too, to see.
Yeah, I didn't think about doing that. Yeah. And also, there isn't a release that I could just pick up. I mean, I could probably find something. But
I had it at my mom's house. I should have brought that. I forgot about we were doing this podcast. I was just there over the weekend. Getting therapy.
Of course, yep. Getting yelled at for not being in therapy. So he's Super Saiyan, and he's going to fight Chilled, and it goes pretty great. I don't know what else to say. Beats the snot out of him, and then Chilled is in hospice care on his ship.
It's just like my last words.
Don't, like, beware of Saiyans whose hair turned gold, and then dies.
It was just too spot on, but I guess, and this is the implication that Bardock is now the original legendary Super Saiyan. I don't know.
So, coming back to it, like, I don't hate it. Like, it's a neat little thing.
Fantastic, like, popcorn movie. Just, like, don't think about it and just eat your popcorn and enjoy the show. This is fantastic for that. Mm-hmm. It's when people come in and start, like, oh, this isn't really how the Super Saiyan became that and that. And we're just doing that because this is the podcast and we're talking about it.
Right,
but in reality, I don't care. This is just fun. I don't care about canon or non-canon, whatever. It's just a fun flick.
Exactly. It's fun and it's entertaining. But I will say, if somebody's like, well, the story of Dragon Ball, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to bring up this thing because I don't think this thing counts.
No, yeah, same. It's like, we don't really count it, especially with how Saiyans were just. It makes Goku less special when Bardock can now become a Super Saiyan. No, it's now a genetic thing, or now it's just like it feels too convenient that now his father's a Super Saiyan. It really belittles Goku's event.
Exactly. About to make a super manga reference, but you wouldn't get that. And also, I don't want to spoil anything, so I won't say that.
Thank you. I appreciate that for when I read it 10 years from now.
Exactly. Maybe that's what I need to do. I need to threaten that I'm going to spoil you on stuff.
I mean, you probably could. I wouldn't mind. I mean, or maybe the whole Super Saiyan transformation thing, maybe it is supposed to just reflect that any Saiyan that goes through this kind of turmoil, this kind of loss, has the ability to transform.
I don't know, man. I just look at it as what a fun what if. What if that thing led to time travel?
I guess because then you got to say then no other Saiyan before Bardock has ever felt that much pain to like transform. I mean, he did lose his entire planet.
Yeah, but then, like, did the Plantians tell the Saiyans that come and invade later, like, by the way, we met one of your dudes, he was super cool, blonde, and real strong, and they're like, we got a legend now. You know, because I'm sure they were like, hey, we want to be friends, and then they just blast them and they explode, and I automatically did the Kermit the Frog voice from the abridged version. But
how many years in the past is this supposed to be? Because then, like, at this point, the Plantians could have evolved into the Tuffles, right? Or what do they call the Tuffurians?
The Sufurians.
Sufurians, yeah, like... Because aren't they the ones who not hand over the planet to the Saiyans, but they like work together until the Saiyans betray them?
Right. I mean, I can't remember what is in the anime, what's in the manga, because I remember it's like, oh, the Zafurians were there, and like, oh, they gave them the technology, but then because the science came from another planet, but then sometimes it's like, oh, they both existed on the same planet,
yeah, side by side, and
whatever. There's too much dumb stuff that happens in this time period specifically in Dragon Ball to keep it all together.
Consistency. Oh man,
yeah. But, I mean, like, you're right. This is a fun, like, little popcorn thing of just, like, let's just watch it. It's fun. Bardock's there. There's a kick-ass fight. Like, what more do you want? It's cool. Yeah. It's fine.
The chilled Bardock fight is animated so well. Like, it's a lot of good shit there.
Hell yeah.
What do you think of Bardock with blonde hair, though?
What do I think about it?
Yeah.
It's fine. I mean, like, obviously, it'd be cool if he had a different hairstyle, but it's like, it's the same as Goku's. So, of course, it's going to hold up the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been nice if maybe his headband changed his bangs or something, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. Like, it would give him like a different style. Yeah, I think it is just, it reeks of marketing, of merchandising.
Yeah. Like
Team 4-Star says in their thing, but it really does. Like, it just, this is just Goku in a different outfit, it feels like now. So it's, I don't know.
Right. But overall, I think you and I come off of it as pretty positive.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's fine.
Totally.
Good. Well, then we can hear what other people had to say about this when we come back after a quick little ad break.
Great.
And we're back, and this time we get to hear what you had to say about episode of Bardock. We got some takes, Doug.
Ooh, really?
We do. So this one first comes from Skefferton Licorice at Living Zombie 00. I think it cheapens Goku's first incredible transformation into a Super Saiyan by saying that his dad was the first one ever. Instead of hardship and resolve bringing Goku to further heights, it's genetic? Come on now. That being said, Bardock's transformation was pretty cool. Of course it was cool. It was all the transformations.
It's just a remaking, yeah. Which we just solved here. We just I gotta go and see if there's a YouTube video of this already, of a comparison video. But yeah, no, I think same thing I said earlier. It's just that it's either genetic or it's like no other Saiyan has felt as much pain before. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm sure that you can find ways to justify it, but it just feels very shallow when it's upfront, and it doesn't necessarily the special doesn't go out of its way to tell you how special it is. It's just like, no, it's time for you to turn Super Saiyan now.
It's very strange. Starting with this, there has been like this weird thing of trying to make Goku like a child of destiny, and I don't like it.
Yeah. It really lessens the fact that he came from nothing and then through hard work became excellent. It's just like, no, you're always destined to be this, which is fine in itself. But I think I like the prior message better.
Yeah. If that was your story from the start, sure. Like, you can have a Child of Destiny story and, like, fate and all that, but this is, like, that's not what it was before, and now you're kind of retroactively going back. It's just messes with things, and you might be like, oh, it's just a tiny little thing. Like, yeah, but when you really think about it, messes with a lot of stuff. It's the same thing when they made Han Solo shoot second. Like, that's not right. Like, that's not who he is. That way you've got a character arc of horrible villain to good guy who saves the Rebel Alliance. Like, I mean, you gotta, this is...
Right.
Cheapens Goku's thing. We've got the notorious SJG, Kaboom himself, Kaboom Crusader.
Kaboom.
who says, I miss the before times when this little diversion was considered the worst treatment of Bardock's character. But nowadays, I'll eagerly embrace it over anything Super has been doing with him.
I can only imagine. That's hilarious. That's true. This was the big controversy with Bardock's character.
Before we did this, before the Broly movie / Dragon Ball Minus, and then with
and
the
now
granola stuff.
Granola, yeah, like I hear.
Yeah. I don't want to bring it up, but yeah, like Kaboom's got it right. Like
I just keep seeing Bardock in like the mask. Is that from like not Xenoverse, but it's like from
that's
something.
from Xenoverse / Online
and Heroes or whatever, or not Heroes. Dragon Ball Heroes.
Yeah, they'll throw in everything. So.
Yeah. So, oh my god, who can this mystery character be with the Goku replica hair?
And then the same like outfit that Bardock wear. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't follow any of the story at all, but I just saw it. I'm like, that's obviously okay. It's a kid show. Okay, I just
saw a spoiler for Dragon Ball Legends, the mobile game, like a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
A spoiler for Dragon Ball Legends or a spoiler in Dragon Ball Legends?
No, a spoiler for Legends because I haven't played enough of it to know what happens. But I was
they have their own story,
sick.
I guess, too. I stopped playing that game a little while. I'm still playing Dokkan Battle, but I stopped playing Legends a long, long time ago. The aspect ratio to collecting stones to then do the gacha system is way worse in Legends, so I stopped playing that.
Oh, that's fair.
You know, I bought a new cell phone. Sorry, this is a little deviant. I bought a new cell phone like 3 months ago, and I still have to keep my old phone because I have my Dragon Stone from Dokkan Battle on the old one, and they don't transfer from Android devices to iPhone devices. So now I have 2 freaking phones because I can't give up my stones because there's no good banner to use them on. But luckily it's the 7th anniversary coming up this week. But I've been saving on the point is I've been saving onto the second phone for 3 months and lugging it around everywhere, all because of Dokkan Battle and its freaking Dragon Stones. I have 1,100 stones saved up. People who play Dokkan Battle know what I'm talking about. I know that it's worth holding on to. Sorry, go on with your Bardock.
That's okay. I'm just impressed that you don't have 2 phones. You have a phone and a Dokkan machine.
And a Dokkan phone. Also, I have no ads on this old phone, so I keep that around and play music on that one from YouTube.
There you go.
Yeah.
Finally, Jake Pay at JakePay16 says, I actually kind of liked it. At least the idea that Bardock was the original Super Saiyan, but I hated the design of the dumb purple aliens. The rest I'm okay with, since Dragon Ball itself is pretty wacky, but overall, a fun story that doesn't change much for the story, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, the basic plant design, it's like, I think that's a pattern that goes into all the Toriyama's alien designs later on, like with Avo and Kato and the what is Kaba's, not Kaba. Gray. That's her name?
His wife, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Who's, I'm thinking Tabo. Yeah, you're right. It's Gray. And then Jocko. Even though Jocko is charming in a sense, it is like super simple. But yeah. But no. And then like Jake is saying, the Super Saiyan transformation, I do sometimes like the idea that that's the original legendary Super Saiyan. But just as saying that, but then when you try to make sense of it all, then that's when it's like I don't want to think about it too much.
Yeah, it's if you just go into it with like this is going to be a fun watch and don't try to apply it to any other story
canon or
aspect
anything.
Of nothing. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Bardock-san.
Gotta make that like a ringtone on my phone. So, trivia, man. I got a couple trivia questions for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
I know that you haven't read the manga, but
not in a while. Oh, Super.
No, of episode of Bardock.
Oh, I have. Well, a long time ago, yeah.
Okay, well, then maybe you might know this. What Dragon Ball character featured on the cover of the manga does not appear in this story?
What character? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm trying to picture the front of the cover of the manga. Isn't it like the Ginyu Force?
No,
I don't remember that. I don't remember.
It's Goku. Goku is on the cover, but he's not in this at all.
Is he?
Yep.
I gotta look this cover up. What are you talking about?
All right, go for it. Look up episode of Bardock manga cover.
Give me the other question while I look this up.
Sure. What's wrong with Zarbon and Dodoria in this special? What's wrong with them?
What do you mean what's wrong with them? Something like physically wrong with them?
Something that is inconsistent with the Bardock TV special.
Oh, I have no idea. What is wrong with them? Is it like one of them not wearing their armbands or their leg wrists sexy like chain?
It's their location.
Oh, they're outside the ship in this one.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Before they're inside watching everything explode.
Dodoria's stupid huge ass hand up against the glass, like, whoa.
So the last question then is, what color is Bardock's tail after he transforms into a Super Saiyan?
It's brown. I remember that.
You're right. It is.
Yeah.
I can't remember where it is. if it's like the manga or something where they had showed it like, oh, it changes to blonde, but then the anime like, no, it's still brown.
I remember like thinking like, oh yeah, because I always love seeing that instance of Saiyans with tails turning into a Super Saiyan. Like, what other color are their tails? That's always intrigued me. It's kind of inconsistent, right? Because in GT, doesn't like Kid Goku's tail go golden?
I think it does, especially when he goes Super Saiyan 3, when he's tiny and he's got a tail that gets very blonde. But
I kind of like the brown, though, but does it make sense? Does that mean their head...
Keep in mind, they have black hair, but brown fur.
Oh, dude, you're right. Wow, I didn't even think about that at all.
Yeah.
They have a Mario, Super Mario thing going on.
They do. It's just the reverse.
Yeah.
Or no...
Black mustache, brown hair.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah. That's going to keep me up at night. Why did you do this to me?
Did you look up that cover? Do you see that Goku is on it?
And it's like, oh, I definitely have this sitting on my bookcase at my mother's house. Yeah. That's just like, it's kind of reminiscent of one of the posters from like the 90s.
I believe it's like a chapter cover from the Frieza arc, and it's just Bardock and Goku's pose.
Yeah.
Or some illustration from around then, but I believe it's a reference to that.
I kept picturing an image of Bardock, like as the cover, I kept picturing Bardock sitting eating like an alien. But that might have been just Vegeta doing that.
Ah, gotcha.
I feel like there's one of Bardock doing that too, though. So
I don't know, man. You find
unless you can prove me wrong, I'm right. So
that's not how that works.
That's how the internet works in my head.
No, it doesn't. So, everybody, thank you for listening. We love interacting with you, keeping you in a conversation. Yeah, thank you. Talking about our favorite franchise in the whole wide world. If you want to talk to us, we make it easy. You can tweet at us. You can email us. If you want to tweet at us, we're at WeGotAPod. If you want to email us, we're at WeGotAPod@gmail.com. Doug, what else can you tell us?
I'm going to let Mike take over from here.
Thank you to Rifti Beats for the trap hip-hop remix.
Thanks for that, Mike. You can find it and other great tracks by Rifti on his SoundCloud. Thank you to our sponsors. Randy, where can people find you?
You can find me at Saber_Breaker on that there Twitters. Doug, what about you?
Nice. You can find me on Twitter too as JabazDoug.
Heck yeah.
Please subscribe to the show, tell your friends, post a review. It super helps us out, and we'll catch you next time.
Later.